Okay, so here we go with our week 6 review of submittals. So we've been talking that the submittals, what will be required, is going to slowly increase in the professionalism or the visually pleasing aspect of the work. And so I thought I would give you some what are called representative samples. Can't always judge everything by numbers and descriptions. Sometimes you just have to look at them and see um, samples that are considered acceptable, good, or excellent. Sometimes you want to see examples that are really crummy too, but I'm not going to do that because we have plenty to see that are acceptable, good, or excellent. And so I thought I'd just go through some of these from a number of different classes so you can start getting an idea. So this first set are the I call it the activity page or the description of what you've done. And so you see here's one that was done recently. And you'll notice how it looks. It's clean, it's easy to read. It really does give the idea of what got covered very quickly. And so this one is worth looking at from that point of view. Here's another one that's also very nice. It gives a description of what's going on. It's easy to see that it's on time. It's easy to see what got done. It's easy to see how many hours got spent. And this is pretty clean and easy to see. And it's a nice format. It's well laid out. I can see some symmetry here. That's nicely done. Here's another one that's nicely done. And all the same aspects of it. And you can see they're all a little bit different. This one chose to put the kind of coolest looking thing front and center. Two smaller ones because they fit nicely to fill this up. And this one gave a good view of what got done. So these are all examples of that first page of the executive summary, the description of your work. Okay, this one's a little bit more even on these three up here, but that's well done. Also very nice looking, easy to see, easy to read, and it does give me the idea of what got done that week. There were 3 models to do, and so I see a view of each of the 3 models. Here's another one. This one has the 3 models, but this one was showing that not only was there some work to be done visually, but there was some work that was done dimensionally too. So that one's pretty cool. Notice all of these are showing that they're done on time. That's nice. It's not necessary. It's just that that's the one I looked at. Here's from a different group, right? That last one was Design 320. Now we're into some Design 330. This is very nicely done. Also, you can see this is easy to read, how many hours were done, and you can see that there was a set of drawings, a set of information to go look up, and a set of information to record. So that shows a fairly good review of it. Here's another one from the same group. And this one shows it in a little more detail. This one has some nice symmetry here and nice symmetry here. And also very, very well done. This one is very well laid out. There's symmetry, but it's not perfect symmetry, right? This is very nicely laid out. I don't need to see every little bit of this one. This one sits on top of it. It's got all 3 of the parts shown that were being worked on. It's got the calculations. And because I know what's going on, I can see that it changed state here. Shows how some things got done. Person worked a lot on the holiday. That's okay. You're allowed to do that if you want. This one is from a Design 301 class, and again, it's clean, it's easy. It's really easy for me to see what was being worked on and why they were there, and the 3 samples of it. That one's excellent. Good looking there. Now these ones are actually getting into the actual um, uh, project work. And so each one of these will look a little bit different, but this is also very nicely shown. So these are all different versions of summary pages so that you can get an idea. Here's one that's a little bit older from last fall, from a Design 300 class. So you can see in all of my classes, I tend to use the same type of style, and it makes it very easy to see what was covered during the week. And you want this level of expression. Now, also look at how nice and easy these are to see. You've got some nice highlighting around these boxes so that it's easy to pick what is what. Just look at all these and know that these are all very nice ones. Here's some that are showing little pieces of work. And so you just look and see. Now this one's a little blurry. I didn't take a very good snip of it. It was much better looking in real. I didn't do a very good snip there. This one is really nice. Look at the how easy it is to see everything. I can see that there were tools, there were objects, there were different facets of it. There were, this one really shows a lot of depth. Okay, often I see the breadth of the scope, but I don't see much depth. This one really indicates depth, and it lets us know what it was made from. So this is a really, really well done one. And this annotation down here lets somebody know why I'm looking at it. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Here's another one that's in the same mode. And it's got a lot of depth to it too. And by making these things, it's kind of easy to see how it's working. And here are the tools that got used. So this is very expressive. This one shows a lot of depth of the work. Not just does it show the output, but it shows some of the more intricate details of how it got made, and it gives some explanations too. This one's kind of cool too. This one's like nice and simple, but it hits everything, and it shows, right? Rectangle, push pull, line, and it shows a number of different views of it. So that was nicely done. Another one in the same mode. So it doesn't have to be fancy, but look at how nicely these are lined out. I can see what they are. Rectangle, push pull, new material, move, scale, command. Somebody could look at this and go, okay, that person has some depth to their knowledge, and I understand where those came from and why they're there. This is another one that shows some depth. This one shows a process, which is a cool thing to do. This one is done in a matter of showing it, how it got going. Here was part of it. Here's another part of it. Here's another part of it. Here's another part of it. And so those are some good, interesting things to have on there. This one's another process one that shows some good work as you move along. Okay, showing these arrows show that this goes with this and this goes with this are good. This one's very well laid out. I can see a lot of depth in this. Okay, where I get a lot of depth to just this one image. I get a lot of information from it. So you want to start to learn how to very quickly and easily present deep sets of information, but in a way that's visually pleasing and not overwhelming, that lets somebody go as deep as they wish to go. This one's very clean, very cool, very simple. And it shows those 3 views that were asked for in this particular one. It shows the completed one and it shows the commands. Very clean and well put forward. It also covers some very good design principle. Here's a 3, 2, 1, which is Fibonacci series. It's also the golden triangle, golden ratio, excuse me. If this from here to here is 1, that's about twice as big, and that's about 3 times as big. And that's a very common type of visual layout that our eyes like to see. Here's another one that shows a ton of good information, and it shows some depth. Access, explain a Revit file. So it shows the main portions of it, and it gives a little bit of information about what each one does. And here's an explanation of Revit. This is another nice layout, very nice layout. It's like an engineering layout where you have an image and a description, image, description. And so you can very quickly and easily talk to build a model, and this demonstrates sort of the way that the model happened. So that's kind of a cool combination of process and another one. This is a very good process one. There were 3 steps in this process: analyze, tighten, and determine. And so this shows how it got done. And so this was a very nice presentation of a very complex process. And so you can see how when I say annotate, this is what I mean, or even this is what I mean, so that somebody can tell what these pictures are there for. Here's one that is a very nice job on a difficult one. This is just explain bearing fit calculations and what they are and why they're important. And so this person looked up a bunch of things and gave some input to them. And so this was a very nice presentation of some work. Here's another version of that. Another one that's very well done. This one is taken from some specific drawings to show what that process would be. This is very nice. I can tell that these are Inventor drawings and these are AutoCAD drawings. So that's a you know, it says create industry standard in both Inventor and AutoCAD. So it's very easy to read this and see what was happening. So another nice, and it shows some depth, right? It shows 3 different objects with 2 different file formats. This one was back from Design 301, and it's very simple. It's easy. It says do an electrical drawing, and here's an electrical drawing. And so this one, they don't have to be complex. This is a very clean, nice presentation. Does not need to be complex. Here's one from Design 300, where there's some. These ones are actually fairly difficult to do, but this was an excellent example where there was something to be studied, some sources that were studied, keywords. That's a very nice thing to add in here. And this is about materials. So this was slab on grade. This is about concrete and the materials of construction of a slab or a floor. And so this really shows some nice depth of understanding. Again, I'm looking for the depth. And this is an example, again, of a completed final page, submittal information. Notice that this is green, that these are indeed sentences, and that it was certified. So this is an example of how that last page should look. And here's another one where the link to the Google Drive folder was in there. In this one, it wasn't. In this one, it was. So, so there we go. That is a little review of representative samples that you might be able to find. I'll put a link into here. Here are some nice portfolios if you're interested in what people's final portfolios look like throughout these classes, particularly for those of you in Design 330 or Design 320. You can look at some of the final portfolios that got done and take a look and just see what they look like. Okay, in 320, your final portfolio gets to go far beyond what we're doing in our executive summaries. So there we go. I hope that that was useful to you. Again, those are in these executive summaries, and I'll put a link in here for you into both the Monday resources page on the calendar, and I'll put an announcement in for you. So, representative samples to help you as you start developing the depth and visual presentation of your work. I will start becoming slowly more and more not picky, but I'll look for more and more depth of your work, and I will look for highly developed visual presentations as we grade moving forward. So these are some representative samples that you can get good ideas from. They do take work. I'm sure if you asked any of those people, they're spending time and effort to do it. One good way to do it is to put all of your work in there together one day, format it the next, go back and look at it with a critical eye. And by critical, I mean, does each one truly identify the depth, all of the things you were supposed to do? And I'll maybe make another video on that in the next week or so. But there you go. Enjoy. I can't wait to see more great representative samples like I'm seeing here.